This is a diagram of Gudikund's theory of anxiety uncertainty management. The theory is designed to explain how effective face-to-face communication is accomplished, and the box at the far right of the figure represents that goal. Gudikund said that cutting down on misunderstanding is hard work, especially when a stranger comes from a wildly different culture. As the title of this theory suggests, and the figure depicts, he believes that uncertainty and anxiety are twin threats that must be managed to achieve effective communication. They are the basic cause of intercultural misunderstanding. Gudikund's research shows that anxiety and uncertainty usually go together, yet he saw them as different in that uncertainty is cognitive, whereas anxiety is affective and emotion. Says a previous edition of A First Look at Communication Theory. The anxiety and uncertainty theory explains how strangers can practice communication effectiveness via the mindful management of anxiety and uncertainty levels of interaction, according to the Encyclopedia of Communication Theory. AUM theory is one of the major intercultural communication theories that explains the antecedent process and outcome dimensions of intergroup and interpersonal communication effectiveness, quoted from an Encyclopedia of Communication Theory. Now, onto a timeline. The AUM theory first came about in 1985. This was just the beginning stages, where the theory had a strong emphasis on effective intergroup communication process. As you can see from this picture, there are two groups that are talking to each other. Next, in 1993, the first official version of the theory was clearly labeled the AUM theory. The theory was intended to be a practical theory to improve the quality of intergroup and interpersonal relations. As you can see from this picture, at first, the other group is confused by their scientific terms, but as they explain it in a way that everyone can understand it, both groups come away with the same understanding: effective communication. Next, in 1998, the AUM theory was extended to explain effective intercultural adjustment processes. In this picture, you can see a French person saying bonjour. With the AUM theory, our American person can understand that he means hello, and therefore they both know what is being said. The building block concepts of the theory include strangers, anxiety, uncertainty, thresholds, mindfulness, cross-cultural variability, effective communication, and intercultural adjustment. Now, onto the critique. Firstly, the AUM theory clearly explains the thought process behind face-to-face interaction. For example, when students start rush week, there is much anxiety and uncertainty. They want to get into their dream fraternity or sorority and to make lifelong friends. They are extremely mindful, and this leads them to be more cautious about what they say and who they say it to. Because of their desire to please, this situation may have higher levels of uncertainty and anxiety. They utilize the AUM theory to manage their uncertainty and anxiety to communicate effectively. In this video, you see a girl who so wants to get into the sorority and who is very nervous and uncertain, But through AUM, she is able to say just what she wants to say without saying too much. So the other person sees that she is excited and thinks that she is going to be a great fit. Now on to everything the AUM theory does not take into consideration. AUM theory does not take into account non-face-to-face communications, such as text message misunderstandings. This woman's message is saying that she is not happy, but the man does not realize this because without the physical cues, he is unable to discern what she is actually saying. Therefore, the communication is ineffective. Social media and online dating is much more prevalent in today's society. Because of this, people do not interact with strangers in person as often, and their skills at being mindful are not as developed as they could be. This shows the highlights of things that have been invented or have come out or been revised since 1998, when the final revision of the AUM theory went through. As you can see from this video of people standing at a bus stop waiting for their ride to come, the people with cell phones are much less likely to talk to each other, and they'll just be absorbed in whatever they're doing on their mobile devices. But the people who have nothing, maybe just a newspaper, are much more likely to engage in small talk. After my revisions, the AUM theory would explain how strangers are less able to communicate effectively using mindful management of anxiety and uncertainty, because so much of modern society's communication is mediated by a screen. With my revisions to the AUM theory, it is able to explain more than just face-to-face communication. Online communication and mobile communication are much more popular than when the theory was last revised in 1998. According to the Pew Research Center, as of January 2014, 90% of American adults have a cell phone, and 58% of American adults have a smartphone. This just shows that communication on a screen is a normal, everyday experience. And with all the communication going through a screen, people are less likely to develop strong relationships because the quality of conversation may be weaker than it was before. Therefore, they may have more anxiety talking to a stranger and are unable to control their anxiety well. Someone who does not practice being mindful because they are constantly talking to people similar to themselves through a screen would be less able to effectively speak to a stranger. With my revisions to this theory, AUM is now able to take screen-mediated communication into account for the difficulties it presents to effective communication.